you. Did you want to make any comments? No,
it probably is a wee bit Edinburgh-centric for me. Just to say in general that I think what should be taken into account is the social value of various facilities, and in terms of art facilities, it comes back to that fundamental question of how important is it to nurture the art sector and the voluntary sector. In East Lothian, there's been lately quite a big push on things like venues, hence the project I'm involved in Dunbar. I think there is a recognition that it can provide not just an art centre, but it provides some core spaces in the community. And if we squeeze them all out, we're in danger of killing off an awful lot of other things along the way with it. I would definitely put that as a high priority to rationalise and look at what art venues we have and how we're going to support them.
Yeah, I'm on this side. And hopefully that our community empowerment bill would provide the kind of legal backing for our community to take over something like the Union. And I was an SNP Westminster candidate last year, and I put out leaflets about trying to save the Union, because I go back a long history of the Union. And I think to lose that for another block of flats or whatever in that particular area would be a disaster. So I think we can frame the legislation. There is an issue, though, that local authorities are under legal obligation to get value for money when it's disposal of property. But there are ways around it, even within the existing legislation. When I was a councillor here, I was in charge of the Edinburgh Council's property division. I sold the building to Ricky DeMarco so he could have a base. And it was challenged legally because there had been other bids for the property. Martin Rifkin was the then Secretary of State for Scotland. He called it in. But I managed to persuade him, actually, just set Ricky from anybody, Ricky was sold. So we got away with that. So you can't, although you can't have to seek value, it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be sold to the highest bidder. You can't, even within the current legislation, there's wiggle room. I'm not sure, now you've asked me, where the residual powers lie, whether it would be still with the Secretary of State or whether it would be transferred to one of the Scottish ministers. But I'm sure that pressure to be put on Scottish ministers to ensure that they give the leeway to local authorities to go for social value rather than just money. But finally, just one last thing. It's important to try and persuade local authority officials, you're right, that you can get financial value out of the arts. When I was running council property, we were selling off the big hole in the ground behind the Usher Hall that ultimately became Saltback Court. I insisted that the Traverse was given space for it. And we just put the developers up against the wall. And the council officials were, we won't get a £1 million. Well, we did it, and the argument was, if you have the Traverse there, you create lively activity at that part of time tonight, throughput through the building, and actually it's added value to that building for the developers in the long run. So there's a case for the social value isn't necessarily synthetic to.
Can I answer, please? Because I think actually, maybe not involved with the board party or not, I think one of the problems is Edinburgh settlement, been about since the early 20th century, they relied on market forces. They relied on buying property, paying more money, buying another property, and then it wasn't actually solid. So what happens is they've lost their money because their investments weren't solid, and now projects that have been about for a very long time are blocked. So before the council had anything to do that, we actually relied on the arts and the voluntary sector on market forces. And I think this is why we have a Scottish Socialist Party is there, is because sometimes you've got to challenge the market, because the market can't always survive. And it's the same as what they're telling us about the Odeon, that's how we want to make money, it's got to make money. It's like the development at the end of the road. They flung out artist spaces, out the blue was there, fair enough they bowed down the drill hall, but when you were out of the blue along the road, you could get an art space for £20. Now, out of the blue, brilliant project, they've got to make it work for you, it's got to pay itself. You will not get an artist space for £20 Now the thing is, if you're an artist and you can make lots of money out of your art, I don't know many artists who make lots of money out of their art, to point out, then, you know, it puts lots of pressure on things. And I know we're trying to get the dance Benjamin Road to turn it into a literature centre. But I'm also a director of the Old Town Development Trust, and all these buildings, except the old here, are in the Old Town. And we're going to the council, and we're saying, the council officials, I wish you were a councillor again, George, give them a job. All they want to talk about is best value, but the best value is the money, and they want millions. They really think they only want the audience to be sold if it'll make millions of pounds, not and like, oh yes, but it's this, and they'd rather it fell apart. They would rather you have that big hole in the ground. I could be in there plant potatoes in that big hole in the ground. We don't have 3 potatoes. No, because one day a developer will come and build a fantastic 5-star hotel and all that. We could have art spaces along there. We could be in the Candidate Venture tonight. In fact, we could just go along tonight and have an art space and make it an art centre. Because it's not doing anything just now. But again, it's the market forces and the council. It's not just about the council. Because the council will say, we don't own the law, we don't own the Roxy, we don't own the Forest Cafe. That's what they've now got to sell them on. But actually, and the problem I've got about trying to get a Candidate Venture now is that they've passed a motion in the council to say they're not going to give out any peppercorn rents anymore. So that building is taking no money, but they're not going to give out peppercorn rent. But if the SNP gets through its legislation, I like that piece of legislation, how am I going to find money as a director to go, well, what I've got to do now is a big application to the big lottery, but I'll be against your application to the big lottery, and your application to the big lottery to the Roxy and all the rest, and then I've got to make it viable, so I get like out of the blue, and I've got to say, if you're an artist, I've got to charge you £300 a month, and you've got to pay that, you've got to sign a contract for that, and then before you know it, my lovely literacy centre wants to send you the road to develop enlightenment again in Edinburgh. It's not made any money, and market forces have pushed it again. So I think actually it needs a bigger conversation, a real bigger conversation, that equality. Or the big lottery cannot save our communities. And it seems to be the only thing now, because presented nowadays, the big lottery, I suppose we could make the X Factory into the next big lottery, but actually, the bad fundraising profits that they're making, I'm sorry, we need to tax the rich. We need to tax the rich who've got more money to do the things we need to do, or we'll never have the expression of the arts that we really need. If you want to come back.
I think it's got ideas of bigger conversation, and while we wiggle room within legislation and care about the individuals are all very well, and persuading that value is actually not as wider and not as